Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Charwell. We're down at the shop, which is pretty much where we left off last time. We have no corn. We have nothing in our seeder at the moment, so we need to buy some seeds. Now we have 9,500. We want to get we want to get a thing of fertilizer and a thing of seeds. So 2,500 versus, wow, actually, that is the better deal. So we'll grab one of these fertilizer pallets, one of the pioneers, like that. That should do for there. And then we also need to get some seeds. Now the seed pioneers are over here. And again, that's a pretty good deal. 2,100. Let's see how much this fills us up. In fact, yep, those should fill both of these up pretty well. So we'll start this up. And yeah, we're going to go and plant ourselves some... there we go. Some corn today. We are working around on our... there we are. On our... crop rotation. Now I'm just going to go through the crop rotation quickly because I have changed it a bit. So we've taken the poplars out. The two fields that we have that we're going to do poplars in are 19 and 83. The two grass fields, they are going to be separate from the rest of our farm. Now, seeing as we need a lot of corn, what we're going to do is 42, 31 and 44 are going to be planted with corn. Corn we've got in our rotation will have a 100%, so basically getting no boost, but the rest of our crops will. So having 3 fields go, or basically 2 fields go to corn every year, is probably better for us with what we have. Now the other thing I need to do, because I noticed this, we just need to connect up. Hopefully connect up. There we go, our PTO, and away we go. So, yeah, as I said, we are going to plant 3 fields over probably the next couple of days with corn. We're going to start with field 42 up here because it is the closest. And yeah, hopefully we'll get all of these fields done today. Now the entrance to the field that I want is actually here. So this is field 42. We've got a bit of a queue of traffic behind us, and we're going to set ourselves up along this edge here. So we're going to try and follow the length of these plough furrows. And if we open this up... we can then open up our seeder. Now, this seeder is not quite as wide as our other one, but we should be able to do this fairly quickly, even so. Looking at this, the angle on this, we're gonna go and head up to this corner. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we've got a multi-terrain angle on here, but we're okay otherwise. This first one I think we're going to have to eyeball. So let's straighten this up like so. Turn it on. We are planting corn, so down that goes, and away we go. There we are. So back that up. And round. So I need to set the GPS on this. So that is going to be our next thing once we've got this line done. Like so, 135 should be our angle. Because we're at 45 degrees. There we go. So let's set our start point down with our seeder and try and get this as close to 135 as possible. It should, and what we'll do is we'll actually set that to do that, and that should then automatically, when we've done this, clip to that. We'll auto width. We've got no offset. Fantastic. Lift our seeder and back round. And yeah, we should get this field done fairly quickly. If we can line things up. So, we'll do that. And hopefully, reversing should be okay. We can keep it fairly straight. There we are. Onto our path. Oh. I think, yes, I've removed my track by pressing the wrong button. So that should set us a fairly good track to replace. And there we go. All good. A little bit far over. And leaving ourselves a little bit of a gap there. But otherwise all good. And we'll take it up to the edge. Like so. Lift. And round. So not the perfect setup to start with. I do quite like this Vatstad seed. It does seem like we've caught the ground a little bit there. But this should bring it round. And when we're lined up, down with the seeder. There we go. And away we go. Right, so there we go. We are going to get this field done and planted with some corn in. And once we've done that, we're going to move on to the next one and hopefully get all of these planted today. We will see how far we get through this job. We have time to plant our fields with this and to get this done. So yeah, let's continue on and A, see how far our seed takes us, and B, how far we are able to get in this day. So about halfway through this field at this point, and we have about 47% of our seed left. So that's an interesting situation we're in. We're gonna, when we come to do field 31, yeah, we're probably gonna need another couple of pallets of seed. Now that is a little bit of a problem for us as we don't have a huge amount of money at the moment. But this should bring in a fair amount. Let's just bring this up to here. And yeah, so we've got that situation at the moment. However, having said that, we are still in a pretty good place. I want to tell you a little bit more about this seeder we're using. So this is a Vatstad Tempo F8. It's a 6 meter. Sorry, I said seeder. I should have said planter. And yeah, this is a mod. It's available from the mod hub, the in-game mod hub, and yeah, it's a great little seeder. When I saw it come out, when I saw it become available, I thought, yeah, that is going to be absolutely perfect for what we're doing on Charwell, and yeah, it's working brilliantly for us at the moment. It is so yeah, this will do corn, soybeans, sunflowers, sugar beet and cotton. So on our farm we're pretty much only going to be using it for corn at the moment, which is why I'm not so worried that it's a smaller seeder than our main one, because we shouldn't be using it quite as often. Having said that, with our new crop rotation, we are looking at using this seeder a fair bit more than I'd originally planned, because of course we're now going to be doing twice as much with it as we had previously planned. But having said that, still a good seeder for us to use. So yeah, we are now down to 34%. We've got the edge of the field in sight. What we do have, of course, is the headlands still to be done, so we still need to go around the edges. But I'm pretty sure that we're going to be... if we have to do a refill, it's not going to be a refill for much. So that will be good. And we'll be able to move on to our next field with a nice bit of ease. Bring this up to here. There we go. And yeah, should be good. So I can get this field finished off. We will see what the time is at that point, and we'll see whether we run out of seed first or whether we run out of field first. Yeah, it's going to be close either way. So last little bit of the main part of the field. I think we've got enough space. We might have to do a little bit in this corner actually, in order to prevent this from. We need a little bit more width. We've got to go right round the other side of the field though to get the headland done. So we're gonna head round there in a moment. Yeah, I think we're gonna need a little bit in this corner, so that will be fine. Let's do that. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, we've got bid out there. So we'll just do that. And then we're going to go around the headland here and head to the first bit that we left, which is over this way. In fact, I think we've got a little bit of width here as well that just needs filling in. We'll do that so that we don't have to do that in a minute. There we go. So that will be all good. And the reason why I go up to the edge is because we should then be able to get the full width around here. And heading up to this side, we're going to start off down this bit here. And this is where it gets a little bit harder. Just to get that turn around. And we've still got that strip there, so I'm going to come back and fix that in a moment. For now though, what we're going to do is we'll come down here and go along the edge here, make sure we are on the edge with our bit, or with our seeder, because if we're not, we won't cover all of these bits. And we still have 60 litres of seed, and it won't put seed down actually where we already have seed, so that is good. It might change the look of the ground and the angle of the seeding, but it won't actually try and seed more seeds, which is quite useful for us because we are in a position where we don't have a huge amount of seed left. So we want to avoid losing that as much as possible. This bit here, we want to come round, and that's straight anyway. Yeah, this is done well. We are doing well on here. It's nearly halfway through the day. I've got another exit over here. Be quite useful to have field 46. Although we can't buy individual fields on this map. It's all pretty much larger areas. So if we want to expand the field, we expand the we want to expand the farm. We expand the farm by several fields, not just the single one, which I honestly quite like. I think that's quite a good way of doing things. Right, we'll bring that into this corner. We need to come out a little bit because we've got that whole thing of being a bit wider than we want. There we go. Now, I'm not going to do this bit of headland here. We need to go and grab that other bit around the side and head up here. And our crops are beginning to look quite nice. Our wheat is coming along well. We need to... What we're going to have to do next day is sort our... I think we're going to have to start looking at doing some fertilizing. Our crops are growing quite nicely. We have put fertilizer down along with our original seeding. So we've got a nice bit of a head start already. And if I put this on we can have a look at the map here, and we can look at the state of our fertilizing. And yeah, we need to do a fair amount, especially on field 41. There's the middle of the field is really in need of it. So yeah, there's some areas that we need to make sure fertilizing gets to. What I'd really love actually is a rear section mounted sprayer for this. If I could find that, that would be perfect. I don't know of any. If anybody does, let us know, because I would really like to have that on this farm. Something a little bit different. Right, so that is our first field done. We are down to 14 litres of corn. I am very pleased, though, that we've managed that. We're going to pull this over here so we can go and shut the gate. I know the car behind will start honking any minute. So, do that. And we'll head back to the shop, where we can fill up with some more seed. And get our second field planted today. So it's been a lot of setup the first few videos on this series. But early on, that is kind of what happens, really, especially with seasons. It's lots of getting crops in the ground, getting yourself set up, and then going from there. Alright, there we go. We'll refill the fertilizer, because we have fertilizer here. Wow, we are really good. I'm actually quite pleased with that. We've got a good amount of seed and of fertilizer left. I think our next thing we'll go and do is we'll go and do field 44. It's a lot smaller than field 42, and we can knock it out pretty quickly. Let's let him past. Get our beacons on, and away we go. But yeah, we can get this field done a lot quicker than we will our final field that we want to do today. But it's all good. We are in a place that I'm pleased with. I don't think we're gonna run out of fertilizer with this at all. I think we're pretty good for that. So yeah, in general, it is all good. Here we are coming up to field 44. Let's jump out. And yeah, this should be fairly straightforward. Not expecting this to take me too long. I do need to close this though. And we'll start down this side of the field over here. Still got my indicator on and still got my beacons on. Don't need either of those. Actually, I think we discovered last time that it was a straighter edge down this side here, didn't we? So let's unfold this. And it is a bit of a straighter edge. Not massively so, though. So what I'm going to do this time is probably start this up, do that, and we're going to take snap terrain angle off this time. So do it slightly differently. We are going to set our first point, and away we go. And then try and keep it nice and straight along this edge. And doing this, we should set ourselves a nice straight GPS course to follow, which is perfect. So we will go and knock this field out now. We've easily got enough seed for it. We know roughly how much it takes, and then we've got one last field to get done, and with that done, that will be our corn in, and we can start concentrating on going through our summer, and maybe even at this point going a little bit of time with our and getting our pigs and feeding them for a little bit of time from stuff we have to buy. Although it would be better if we could get our first year's harvest in first and go from there. So yeah, let's see where we go. For now though, we're going to get the corn into field 44. So on our last little bit now, and we're going to take this up to the other end and get the headland done. And that will finish off this field. Now I'm looking at it and it is, yeah, it is 20 past 2 in the afternoon. I'm not sure there's an awful lot more that we can get done, especially on our large field that we've got left. So we might see if we can finish this next time. We have got... we are in a position where we are able to do that. We've got we actually got 2 more days to get field 31 planted. I don't think it's something that's possible in this one. And I don't want to force it too much anyway. I'd like to space things out and give us a chance to do everything. So we're going to take this headland here and get this done. We can then take this back to the yard, and that will do as well. And as I said, I think we might look at what our options are going forwards after this. We got summer coming up and plenty to do there. We may be able to take on a contract, possibly, if we can, and that might mean that we can lead the terror track using this piece of kit. Again, it's a little bit of overkill to run this with the terror track, but I think it should do. It should still do the job quite nicely. In the meantime, we may either be able to take the JCB to do some stuff, or possibly even just use the equipment that comes with a contract in order to do it. So we want to try out the contracts on this map and see how they're doing. There we go. So fold this up. And yeah, I think that is good for us today. You guys get the idea of what we're trying to do with this. I'm gonna back this out and get this back to our farm. We'll leave this gate open. There's no worries of anybody going in there or anything escaping, so that is all good. Looks like our fields in general are growing quite nicely. As I said earlier, we need to look at what we've got to do spreading wise. So we may actually get a fertilizer spreader and use that with this next time. As I said, if you do know of any mods that rear mount to these JCBs, do let us know in the comments. I would be really interested in picking one of those up to have a go with. But for today, I think this is where we're going to leave it. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.